Hello. Good morning, everyone. We're going to give everybody just a couple of seconds to jump on.
Good morning, Miss Anna.
Good morning. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for episode 6 of our talk here. And we are going to get started. I want to welcome everyone. Thank you all for joining in. I am Anna Adams, and this is my co-host, Pamela Carter. And today we have a fascinating topic, I feel like it is. And so today we're going to talk about the doula journey.
Absolutely. Fascinating journey.
Yes. Pam, what was your journey? What started off your journey?
Wow, Anna, my journey's been really interesting because I found myself doing this work my entire life. Didn't realize what I was doing. Always was the person that got called when somebody was having a sickness or an illness or a sudden death. Have found myself at bedside so many times before I realized what I was doing. I mean, I was there helping family and helping friends and loved ones and did not realize the role that I was fulfilling. And then it sounds almost strange, but then found a love for doing the work, because being able to help someone in those final moments was so rewarding, if you can use that term. Being able to stand with the family and help them and relieve some of the tension and the I'm not sure what to do moments. And it was instinctive, helping families. Let's sit them up. Let's roll them over. Let's try a cold washcloth. It was just all instinctive. And it's been a journey that I've been on for 40 years. So it started when I was a lot younger. And I feel like Caitlin Daughtry, I've always been fascinated with death, because I'm fascinated with birth, because I think about how unique it is for a baby to form and for a mother to give birth and bring that life into the world. And then I've always been fascinated with death, because it's a birthing process and everybody's got their own beliefs, which we embrace and celebrate everyone's beliefs. But my personal belief is that we're born into another world. And so to be able to witness that birth going forward, sometimes I just wished I could step on the other side and actually see it come to a total fruition, if you will. Tell me what brought you to this journey.
Well, I actually started working really, really young in hospice. I was 16, and I had no idea that this is what I would be doing today. I had no idea. Because, you got to think about it. In the teenage years, you're not thinking about death. You're not thinking about dying, And then over the years, I started working in hospice and working in crisis care, and being a part of a crisis care team. And once I started doing that, I started seeing how families would get so scared when we had to say, we're not going to have your loved one on crisis care any longer. Those symptoms have been relieved. So now we have to come out. And I never forget their faces and their feelings and the look of, oh my God, what are we going to do? Like, I don't know what to expect. And so going back into being really present in those cases made me really think about and look up about death doulas. And that's where I really learned what they are and what we do. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm already doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Pam, you and I both will admit we've taken multiple programs and multiple things that we've looked at. It's something that we try out, like we even tell our own students, education is the key to being able to bring more ideas to your families and your clients. Although a big part, I think, is that we do, and I'm not discrediting that we don't do that, or we do that, having those sacred time and that sacred space
Yes.
Spiritual, emotional kind of thing that we're doing there is absolutely. But one of the biggest thing, and I see it more and more now, and I hear stories from coworkers, from other people out in the community, is that they weren't told what was going to happen with their loved one when it was going to happen. Like, what should they even expect?
Mhm.
And so I think that's really what has pulled me in and drawn me into educating my community, educating others. And, to be quite honest, I educate medical professionals all the time.
Oh yeah. I talk to medical professionals all the time. And what I love is when they say, how did you know that? How
Mhm.
did you, how, and it's like, I've learned from the experience of being present. I've learned from how many countless times I've seen situations unfold.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something that we take in and we, sit there and we learn, and you get to see what's going on with these families. And then you start seeing even more needs that come out. I
Mhm.
noticed that a lot of my cases, I start seeing more needs of, oh my goodness, we need to address this and we need to address that. And, and that's really where I've gotten my journey, and is come through full. I feel like it's coming to a full circle of this. I'm really doing what I need to be doing. Um, and I think that once a doula decides or gets this calling, I think they need to follow it and see where it
Yeah.
goes, because it taught me one thing. And I have to say this is crazy. So I've worked in many different, I've done some other business management things. And it was a long trip going home for a family member that we had passing, and we were in the car for several days because person was going to pass, and that person was waiting for us to get there, because as
Mhm.
soon as we got there, like literally not even 12 hours they passed.
Mhm.
um, but the biggest aha moments for me were like, wait a minute, I don't think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh yeah.
And when you listen to what the universe is telling you,
Mhm.
everything falls into place.
Well, when you say listen to the universe, I think the universe preps us. We don't know what we're being prepped for.
Exactly.
But I look back, and I mean, one of my first experiences with death was when I was like 12 years old. And I say first experiences, it was my first experience with friends where I look back and realize I was leading the conversation. I was helping friends my age discuss the drowning of one of our friends, and talking about, at that time, I was talking about it. I just believe he'd moved to a different place. He wasn't where we could physically see him.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a journey. And I do believe that it is a calling. And I think if people look back over what they've done over their course of their life, they have those aha moments. I know I did. Like you said, I look back and holy mackerel, I did this and I did that. I mean, my past reads like who's who in American history, because I was a respiratory technician and chosen out of school to go into that training program.
Mm-hmm.
And in that training and in that department, you see a lot of death. You see a lot of life support, and learning what that face looked like of life support, and learning how to accept those deaths and those circumstances. Because I was only 18 years old. Now, today, I wouldn't want to know that my respiratory technician was 17 and in a training program, mind you. But back then, it was common practice because hospitals trained people on staff. You didn't go to school to get
Mm-hmm.
your training. But it was always a process, and I can't imagine doing anything else. And you were talking about looking up doula. I always call myself a transition coach, which I
Mm-hmm.
still like the term transition coach. And then when I started hearing about doulas, I was like, what's a doula? And when I started looking into it, I was like, well, I've been doing this forever. This
I
is
think
what I
that's
know.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it great. We're non-governed right now,
Mhm.
and so if your terminology key is what you feel drawn to calling as death midwife or end of life transition or transition coach just by itself, or whatever, death doula, end of life doula, whatever that calling for you is to call yourself of your line of work you're doing, by all means, that's the fabulous thing. We can do that. We can call ourselves a transition or a death midwife, whatever,
And you said something really important I want to kind of circle back to, because you said that we don't have a governing body. There is really no true certification. There is no licensing for what we do. And I sit split on a fence, and one leg dangles on the side of, I never want to see us in a certification program, because I don't want someone that has never either experienced death, had a serious illness, or had to work with a family tell me that I can only be bedside for an hour, or I only have 20 hours with this patient. I don't want that in my life. So that's one side. The other side is, when we talk about education in this field, there is, and you know this as well as I do, there are so many opportunities to quasi-learn that people are saying, this is my school, come learn from me. And I really think that people really need to investigate this and really look and really see what the hands-on basis of the training is. I came to this training with you because it's hands-on, because I saw the school being built to know your students and to work with everybody, and to, I saw you working with people that would reach out, and I saw the hours you were putting in because of the dedication and the true desire to make sure that if you say, I'm a doula, you've had either the total experience, or you've had that experience in a classroom working with yourself or with another instructor, that they are being given that education. Because to take a course that's like 6 hours long and get a certificate that says I'm a qualified doula, there's no way. There's no way. I'm sorry. There is no way. And in my personal opinion, and this is my personal humble opinion, I know that a lot of courses are self-taught. This is a course that you need that one-on-one instruction with. If you're taking a self-taught course, that's great if you can get the one-on-one if you need it. But if you're sitting with a textbook and you're going through and you're taking exams and you can't ask questions and you're not interacting, you're not getting what you need. And the one thing that I tell anybody that ever comes to me and says, Pam, I think I'd like to do this. And I have had a lot, and when I say young, I've had some people in their mid-20s, early 30s. And first thing I ever ask them is, have you ever been physically in the room with death? Have you ever witnessed a death? And when they say no, I'm like, okay, well then let's step back and evaluate this. Can you do the work? Yes, but you need to get in and get training and have somebody that's going to mentor you and be there for you, because we do not get an opportunity to redo. We get one shot. And when you're in the room with the family and you have a patient, and every patient, as we know, is different. Nobody dies alike. In 40 years and all the people I've sat bedside with, I can say that every time I see a death, I see something. It can be very small, but something that was so different than the last experience. But if you're in a room, and I'm going to use the worst case scenario, where you have someone that maybe goes into a grand mal seizure, or you have someone that suddenly the body is ejecting fluids out the nose and the mouth, and they've never seen this, you can't run. You can't walk out of a room. You can't turn away from a family. You've got to be able to be the solid foundation that says, let's put a towel here, let's do this, walking them through what's happening. Because that family's panic stricken. That is their loved one. And they don't have time to think, what should I do? They need that doula to be there to hold their hands. And there again, that's the difference in being governed by a regulatory board that says, you can only have 6 hours. Because when I'm working with someone that's dying, or you're working with someone that's dying, or any doula that's done this work, you know that some people could die in a matter of hours. Some people could die in a matter of days. Some people could die in a matter of weeks. Some people it takes months. And when you're doing this kind of work, you've got to be available to that family. And when I say available, that's not always just by phone. You need to be able to be physically present, because they need that calming energy, that reassurance that somebody in this room knows what's happening. Somebody in this room has
tricks of the trade. Some tricks of the trade. And, you know, I want to share a couple of comments we've gotten on. Welcome everyone for watching with us live here today. Miriam brings up a great point. She says, I say it and it's true. You can't legislate care, compassion, or love. Training is the key. Many courses are given, but I agree, you need classroom teaching. And I totally agree. I totally agree. And that's, you know, we do. I can't tell you, I've had nurses, doctors, things, even, you know, medical professionals come in and say, you know, I never thought of that. So if you have a medical professional thinking that, then why not all doulas should be trained?
Absolutely.
Yes, I can't I can't make you be compassionate. I can't make you, you know, who you are and how you're going to do that. But what I can give you is tools that are going to help you and help you in different situations that can happen.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely. And it's so important to have the tools and to have the training, and to, you know, we did training this past weekend, and I was just listening to the students that are now becoming doulas and their aha moments. And those aha moments don't happen unless you're having the opportunity to interact with someone else. You know, it with us, we're accessible. And I know we hear it all the time. How can you do all this? And it's because it's a chosen path. I don't want to do what I'm doing if I can't be accessible to the students. I don't want to do what I'm doing. I mean, heck, our students have our phone numbers, for goodness sake. They don't go through Mary Beth on the switchboard to leave a message. When a student needs me, they call me on my cell phone. And they know if Pam doesn't answer, leave a message. She is busy, but she will get back to me. She will respond. And it's the same thing with you. Our students know that we're available, and it is important to have that mentor, because when we call ourselves teachers, I really think of it as a mentor rather than a teacher, because we're walking alongside them. We're not giving you an instruction. We're becoming partners with you in the pursuit of
family that you can turn to and call and ask questions. I'm in this case right now, and this is what I have going on. You know, I want to share another post that we have. I truly feel the pull to doing this. I have experience, and I've experienced it personally, and I have helped several friends through the process. Jody, yes, reach out to us, and I'll get the link for our booking site if you need to get with us one-on-one to explore and to get to know what to look out for and options that you have. By all means, go to our website. There's a little box where you can put a check for discovery. It takes you to our booking site, and come and chat with us. We would love to just, you know, grab some coffee, some tea, and let's talk about it for sure.
Absolutely.
She's wonderful. Yes, Jody, reach out to us. That's one thing, you know, I want to encourage everyone. If you're looking for a program to take, I want you to do several things. One, reach out to support. See how quick you get a response. Number two, ask to meet one-on-one, whether it's over the phone or through a Zoom or Google Meets. See if you can meet with who has created this program.
Absolutely.
See if you can meet who created that program and talk to them one-on-one. You know, talk to them one-on-one. Look at their curriculum. What are they offering you?
You know, Anna, I'm going to insert this here too. You're saying talk to them one-on-one. Ask them what they're doing. Find out what your instructor is doing. Are they marketing a program, or are they, as I lovingly always say, boots on the ground? You actively work every day in this field. I actively work every day in this field. Right before I got on a phone call, I had that referral. The gentleman called me that had called you. And so I've got a referral that I'm going to be reaching out to for someone that was looking for a doula in my hometown. And I can't take on the clients that I took on prior to becoming a mentor in the school and prior to doing the work I'm doing, because I used to could have 4 or 5 people I was working with at a time. Now I have to limit that, but I still keep my boots on the ground.
Yeah. But thank goodness, because we have now graduates in our areas that we can refer business to go and help those clients. And, you know, so I am super excited about that, because then we have people that we can call up and say, hey, I need you to take this on. Because we do. We try to spread ourselves quite out there with our, not only our students and our clients, but you know, bringing what we bring here to IDLM as well. So that's the great thing about having a family community that you can reach out to.
And you used a key word. The key word was community, because we have the movement. And the movement is something that if you're a student of IDLM, you become an immediate member of the community. And the community is where we give continued education that is free. We continue to educate our students. We have some of the best in the industry that are working with us and will be working with us in the coming months. We are going to have programs that are not available anywhere else. And we're not going to talk about it till we're ready to launch it, because we both know we are being duplicated constantly.
That's the other thing too. If you see something that you see several programs offering something similar, can you get a free trial of it to dabble in and see what the difference is? You know, so these are all just some tips to looking at, you know, an overall picture if you are looking to start this journey. But we're going to wrap up today. And, you know, it was great to chat, and we'll have a great conversation next week as well. And we have upcoming graduation. So I want to let everybody know we have an end of life doula class graduating this Wednesday. We have Pam has a life planning doula specialist class graduating this Wednesday as well. So we want to congratulate all of those students, because they have really worked hard, haven't they, Pam?
Very hard, very hard. And some of them are graduating from the certified doula program as well as the certified life planning program.
They're doing a dual certificate. Yep.
Yeah. So some of these people have worked extremely hard, because both of those classes are intense classes with lots of things that have to be completed in order to graduate. Yeah. So these students that are graduating on Wednesday are well equipped to go out and start their businesses. They're well equipped to know exactly what they need to do and to be able to answer the questions. Plus, they've got those mentors in the background, not just you and I, any of our instructors, because we don't do it all. We can't possibly do it all. But all our instructors are just like you and I. There's my term, boots on the ground. These women are all working in this field. They are all day-to-day interacting and learning. So it's a great place to be. I could talk all day about it.
Well, we want to congratulate our students for their upcoming graduation, and not to worry. I want to do a shout out too to our weekend intensive program. Let me tell you, that group is doing amazing. We just wrapped up weekend 1. We have weekend 2 next weekend, and then they'll be done with that. So I want to give a really great, you know, let them know that they have done such a great job. We had so much fun this weekend getting to know everyone and just sharing some great space. And they have one more weekend. And then not to worry, if you still want to pop in and join in with us in our doula program, we'll be having some upcoming classes starting as well. So we'll be keeping you posted about those. And so please, if you haven't already, join our newsletter. You can go to our website, sign up for our newsletter, be in the know of any upcoming events and special guests. And tonight we actually have a CE night with our community. Our community is going to be doing basics of pediatric doula care. So we'll be training with our graduates and students tonight. So which you can only get if you're in the movement.
And next week, we've got our book club's got the author of the book that we just did coming in to speak with us too and do another training night.
Yeah. So but you got to be in the movement.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be in the movement to catch those. All right, everybody, please have a wonderful, safe week, and we will see you next week.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, everyone.